Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir. And because it's Dusknoir, that means it's going to be inside the Hoenn playlist along with Sinnoh. Okay, so basically every single thing on here is fucking retarded. All he did was he looked at a bunch of words, squished them together. He said, yep, that's good, this'll do it. The only one that gets a pass is King Boo. That's a Mario enemy. That'll work if you throw it on any ghost you want to. It's nothing special. I don't really care, but I don't have a problem with it either. Most of this, though, is just, like, pretty bad. I'll acknowledge deception. I have mixed feelings on it. For the most part, I really like the reasoning he's giving behind it. I'm not super familiar with the Mystery Dungeon games. I haven't played them or anything. I've only seen the HD remaster, and that's about it. And just as a default option, when I see the word deception, I get drawn to Mortal Kombat, because that was the subtitle of the game. So, I mean, it's alright, it's fine, it's a simple word, you could use it, it's just, I don't know how I feel about it as a nickname, but it's not a bad idea. And I guess we'll acknowledge misery in the same vein, where it's like, it's a simple word, and it just kind of holds meaning, Bayonetta, Binding of Isaac style, something like that. Also, I want to take this moment to say, this, I think, is one of the few Sinnoh evolutions that they didn't make worse. I like Duskull's original form, I think that looks good. Didn't really care for Dusclops, but Dusknoir, I think, looks much better than Dusclops. So they actually made this evolution look better than its previous one. Apocalypse, literally same vein as Misery. We've seen it a few times in the past. Some people associate it with the horses for Horsemen of the Apocalypse. If you don't want to do that, you want to just use it on whoever, that's an idea too. I'll acknowledge Nihilus. I'm not into Star Wars. I've seen all the films because I feel like it's required of me, being as it's such a huge part of history, but Star Wars names are alright if you can find a way to make it good, and I think this will work, and he's got a good reasoning behind it. I'll acknowledge Pestilence, same vein as we've seen so far quite a bit. Apocalypse, Misery, Deception. I like that he's like trying to be a little bit different and not just going with death, so good on you for that. I'm going to highlight this comment just in case you're feeling like reading two nerds argue over terrible nicknames. I kind of want to highlight this one just because I think it's funny, because when I was like, okay, let's go see what this character looks like, and then I got this guy, and I was like, that is not a Star Wars. So, small thing to consider, but if you are interested in more Star Wars nicknames, that's another one for you. And I'm just going to acknowledge these just to be like, hey, yeah, I saw them, just so you know. Don't ask, I don't care. If we literally acknowledged God stuff every single time, we'd have 30-minute videos and they'd all be the same. Alright, so usually I try to highlight their usernames for whoever comes up with the idea, but this comment's very, very long, and the thing I want to highlight is right down here at the end. I really like the idea of the Metal Gear Solid names. I think those are cool. I would like to try and use those to some degree, but I've never gone through and committed with it, but stuff like this I think is super cool and interesting. Alright, we've reached the bottom. I feel compared to Bennett, Dusknoir, Dusclops got the short end of the stick because nothing on the spreadsheet, and I think we saw much less stuff going on. I think probably the two best things we found were just the Star Wars bits, and I like Nihilus more personally. In previous episodes, I've seen Mad Eye Moody, and I wrote that down because I was like, yeah, I could kind of get that because focused on the eye, like, I get that. And then I also wrote down Fantoon. And then I started thinking about that. I'm like, you know, this is probably as good as Fantoon's ever going to get. So that's the one I'm personally sticking with for right now. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to, like, win me over or make me change my mind. But for right now, I'm like, yeah, Fantoon's good. I don't think Fantoon's going to go anywhere else. I think this is as good as we're going to get. And I'm a Metroid junkie, so it fits with me. Other words, any and all suggestions you have for the Dusclops, Dusknoir, Duskull line, provide in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. And just know that Charon, the little guy with the river sticks, he was the most popular choice out of everything. I saw him maybe like 10 times.